Hey guys, Brian Schooley here with the Alpha Voyage podcast. Just thankful to be back today and just want to say what's up to everybody who's listening, and thank you so much for listening. And guys, if you would share this with a friend, send it to somebody that it may encourage, guys. That is just my only hope. My only hope in this is just to draw people closer to Christ. I've been thinking about that so much. Man, if we just had a better understanding of who God was and how he thinks about us and that he's a good dad, gosh, so much would change, but we always have, unfortunately, just through life and through circumstances, we've kind of come to this conclusion that maybe God is disappointed, or maybe he's angry, or maybe he's frustrated, but he's a loving father. He created you. He made you special. He just wants to be one with you. And guys, so I would just ask you guys to pray about that. Ask God to reveal to you his character, ask him in your quiet time. Who are you, God? What do you think about me? And I know that he'll answer, that he is proud of you and that he loves you and that he's all about you. So guys, just wanted to share with you a couple verses that I've been going through lately. I've been in Romans. I can't get out of Romans. It's just so powerful for me personally because it just talks so much about what God's done for us, what he's done for us, and that it's a gift that what he's done. So one of the things I was reading this week, and this verse, this word, reconciled, it just popped out as I was reading. And so I wanted to talk about that today. And so I got a couple verses that I wanted to share with you and talk about, but I believe that word is so powerful and it's something we need to become more acquainted with. So guys, in Romans 5, it says, while we were still enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his son. So that verse just popped right out. I was like, whoa, like if people knew that, like if I knew that better, that I was reconciled to God even before I ever knew him. And guys, that is the beautiful message of the gospel, is that we were reconciled to God through what he did on the cross. He sent his son Jesus to die for our sins, to reconcile us with him. And all we have to do is come to an understanding and a knowledge of that and conclude that, wow, God, you have already done the work. All I have to do is just come into that knowledge, accept it through faith that what you've done for me was enough. So guys, I'm going to go back up and read a little bit more. So rewinding to verse 6, it says, while we were still helpless, at the appointed moment, Christ died for the ungodly. So guys, here's the cool thing about this. It happened before we even were born. It happened 2,000 years ago. God says right there in the word, it was at the right time. So I don't understand why that was the right time, but God said it was the right time to send his son Jesus to die for us. So he did that. Christ died for the ungodly, which is you, which is me, which is everybody, right? All people. He died for all people. In verse 7, it says, for rarely someone will die for a just person, though for a good person, perhaps someone might even dare to die. But God proves his own love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So here's the thing I was thinking, like so many people go like, man, I could never go to church. Do you know what I've done? Or I could never be seen there, or I could never, whatever. Like I'm separated from God. I am separate. Like he doesn't want anything to do with me. He would never accept me. But it says like right there in the word, like, you got to read what it says. You got to understand what it says. It says God proved his love for you in that while you were still doing all of those things, he already sent his son to die for you. So that's some insane news. It's like saying he knew that there was going to be separation. He knew all the things that we would probably do. And he's like, I'm going to send my son anyways. I'm going to take care of it anyways, ahead of time. So guys, here is the thing. It's coming into a knowledge and understanding that he's already given you the gift. So therefore, like nobody should be saying like, I can't go to church, or I got to clean up my life first, or I got to learn more of the Bible before I decide to follow him. Like all of that's pointless. It's all pointless. Like he already did the whole thing. He completed it for you. All we have to do is just accept it. It's like it's a free gift. This is the part that I trip out the most on in the Bible. Also here in Romans, it says like it's a free gift. And if you don't accept it as a free gift, then you can have no part of it. He's like, if you're working to receive something, it's not a gift. And so many of us are like working to receive our salvation through good works, through tithing, through all kinds of things. Like we are trying to earn it, and it's like it cannot be earned. It cannot be earned. Verse 9 says, much more than, since we have now been declared righteous by his blood, we will be saved through him from wrath. So guys, if there was ever a thought in your mind, like if you ever were preached, like the fire and brimstone, like you're going to hell, you got a grandma who's like, you are going to hell, sometimes that message is just, it's the wrong application. People need to see the love of God. So check this out. Since we have been declared righteous, that is insane. Like it says right there, like you were declared righteous through the blood of Jesus Christ on the cross. So when God sees you, he sees righteousness. He doesn't see your sin. He sees your righteousness, and you're going to be saved from wrath, it says, which is amazing. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his son. So there it is, guys. Again, verse 10, while we were still enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his son. I mean, let that sink in. You were reconciled. I was reconciled through the work of the cross. So I would say that I spent years worrying about where I was going to go, worrying about, have I done good enough? Have I performed enough? You know what I mean? Honestly, have I read my Bible enough? Have I told enough people about Jesus? But it really doesn't say any of that. It says none of that. It says we were enemies, and God reconciled us through the death of his son. It's like a done deal. He did the deal. I think that a lot of people are probably afraid to tell or to portray this as simple as it is, because they think like, well, then you're just, you're saved, so you're just going to go do whatever you want. And I don't believe that at all, because I believe that as you come into a deeper understanding of the amount of freedom that he's given you, and the amount of love that he's given you, the amount of forgiveness that he's given you, the amount of reconciliation, restoration that he's given you, you'll actually choose not to sin. You're like, why would I do something against him? This is like not for my best interest. And why would I choose that? It doesn't even make sense. If you're still choosing it, you need a further revelation of just how good he is and what he's done for you. So guys, next verse, verse 11 says, and not only that, but we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ. We have now received this reconciliation through him. So guys, rejoice in that today. Like, think about it. Like, man, like I thought I was like toast, I thought I was going down. I thought that, it was like questionable, like whether or not I'm going to, get into heaven. Like there is no question. Like as you put your faith in this, in what it says here, that he reconciled you on the cross. So guys, check this out. Also, if you need more support, check this out. Colossians 1:21 says, once you were alienated and hostile in your minds because of your evil actions, but now he has reconciled you by his physical body through his death to present you holy, faultless, and blameless before him. So here's the truth. All right, here is the truth. You, according to what it says in the Bible, not according to what you say about you, here in Colossians, it says you are holy, faultless, and blameless before him. So if you guys have that thought of, man, I could never go to church, I could never be saved, I could never be like these other people, I could never feel good about myself again, I could never forgive myself. It says you, in the eyes of God, who is the only person that matters when it comes down to it, he says you're holy, faultless, and blameless. You have been reconciled by what he did. And so guys, for us to not take that, it is kind of like a slap in the face to God. It's like saying like, if you understand what it says and then you deny it, I mean, that is a slap in the face. But I think most of us don't even understand that the work that was done to reconcile us back to union with him has been done. And I think so many people are just struggling with that. They feel guilty. They know that they've probably done some things that they're ashamed of, that they feel bad about. But I guess here's the question. I think that we're all looking to be forgiven for the things that we've done. We're all looking to, be restored back into a feeling that, man, I'm forgiven. I made some mistakes. I did some wrong things. I made some bad choices, but I wish that I was forgiven. I wish that I could be set free from those things. And here in the Bible, it actually says it, guys. It's right here for you. You were once alienated, and now through the death of Jesus Christ, you are holy, faultless, and blameless before him. So guys, let's have a mind shift. Let's start changing our minds. Be renewed in your mind, like it says, through the word. And if we can get that we actually are reconciled, there is no separation. He's not upset. He's not mad. He knew what was going to happen, and he paid for it ahead of time. So there is no reason why we should be alienated from him. If we're alienated from him, it's not because of our sin. It's actually because we don't understand who he is. So guys, ask God today, say, God, would you reveal more of yourself to me, who you are, what you think of me, God. I'm just going to sit here in silence, Lord, and wait on you. Lord, speak to my heart. Tell me, is this true? Is what it says right here in Colossians and what it says in Romans, is it true? Is that what you think of me? And guys, here's the crazy thing. We have to learn to accept it. We have to learn to accept it. It's like there's a weird part of us that wants to hold on to the things that we've done, that wants to hold on to the past. But we have to learn to accept it. Guys, this week at church, one of the pastors was speaking, and he asked, he said, what is something that God is asking you to forget so that you can press on? Because Paul said, forgetting what's behind and pressing on towards the future, And so he said, ask God, God, what is it that you want me to forget? Is it something I did? Is it something I said? Is it something that somebody did to me that I just can't get over, and that it's holding me back from doing what he wants for me to do? And I believe that that's true in everybody's life. So ask yourself that today. God, what is it that you would want me to get over, to forget about, that's in the past, so that I can go forward? Because a lot of times we're stuck, right? We can't go forward because we don't even know why. But the reality is that we're stuck from something from the past. So guys, if it was something that was done to you, let's learn to let it go. Learn that maybe that person did not know who they were. And so in doing so, they hurt you. But it wasn't anything that you could have done different or better, but that was on them. That's one thing. Number two, if it was something that we've done, guys, get in here, get in the word, see what it actually says. We've been reconciled. It says it in Colossians, says it in Romans. I'm sure it says it other places too. I think I looked up the word, and it was in three or four different books in the Bible. But we have been reconciled, guys. You have been reconciled. There is no separation between you and him. The only separation is the hand that you're holding out saying no, because he's already done it. He's already paid for it, guys. So anyways, it's a big deal, guys. Have a mind shift today. I am reconciled to Christ. I am at one with Christ. I am in union with Christ. There is no more separation through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So guys, he paid for it. Now we just have to accept it. Free gift. Let's go, baby. Free gift. I'm all about it. But here's the thing. Are you all about it? Has anybody ever given you a free gift? Can you even handle that? Or are you like, man, now I got to give you something, or now I got to prove to you that I'm worth it? That's the true question. That's something that I've been wrestling with in my life. Like, am I willing to accept a free gift, from somebody? Can somebody just love me and I just accept it without feeling like I need to now do something for them? So, guys, and that's the key there. That's the key. It's a free gift. Jesus wants you to live in freedom because of what he's done. He wants you to accept it. So, guys, thanks for joining me today on the Alpha Voyage podcast. I am on TikTok, I'm on Instagram and YouTube. I would love for you guys to reach out to me and just say, hey, I heard this episode. I was encouraged, or just whatever. Give me some feedback. Also, I would love it if you'd share it. Like, if you know somebody that this can really help, they're struggling, they're going through some stuff, guys, send it to them, forward it to them. I would love that. So, all right, guys, God bless. Peace.